Hey everyone, Gary Hoey here, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about not playing the guitar, but about purchasing or buying a guitar, your first guitar, or maybe the first guitar for a young child that you're getting into music. So I wanted to give you some background on the guitars that I bought for myself and for my children. So to start off with, I want to let you know that there is a misconception that everyone should start out on acoustic. Doesn't matter whether you start on acoustic or electric. It's good to find out what the guitar student maybe likes. Do they like acoustic-based music? Do they like electric rock or blues? And that maybe inspire them more if they play the kind of guitar that they're excited about. So there is no one thing, but what you don't want to do is start your child off with a big, fat, giant acoustic guitar that they can't even get their arms around, and the neck is so thick they can't even fret the strings, because then they're going to get frustrated and they're going to want to quit. So try to find that happy medium. So what I want to tell you is my son Ian, his very first guitar was one of these Fender Stratocaster mini guitars that they have. So this is a smaller version of, a regular size Fender Stratocaster, as you can see. So they kind of shrunk it down a little bit. Honey, I shrunk the guitar. And it's great because it has a smaller neck for little hands. It's got a smaller body, and it's encouraging, and even big people like to play them. So that's great for electric. And then if we come over to acoustic, my daughter Allison, this was her very first acoustic guitar. This is an Ovation smaller version of what they have, the round back, but this is another acoustic that I have. And as you can see, it's much smaller. So this isn't even a full-size acoustic. This is like a concert size, but they make one that's called a Dreadnought, which has an even bigger box to it. So this, again, easier to hold, easier to get your hands around for a young person, young musician. So think about getting a mini guitar could be the way to go if your child is, say 8 years old to even, 10 or 11. Maybe to 8 to 10, I'm guessing, or 7 to 10 could be good, or even 5 years old. Ian was 5 when he started. I believe Allison was probably 5. And the other thing I want to talk about is string gauge. Okay, I have 2 sets of electric strings here. And this set here, if you look, it has an 009 in the corner. So this is going to tell you that the thinnest string is going to be in 009 millimeter, and that's going to be the E string that's going to be on the high string. So then it's going to go to a 46, which will be your bass string on your electric, and you want to make sure you keep that number low. If I go to the next set of electric, it's going to be a 10 to a 46. Now this is a 9 to 42 actually. So all the strings get heavier if this number is higher. So I recommend you start on a 9 gauge for electric guitars, and then experiment after that. But start off with a light gauge. Same thing with strings for acoustic. Okay, this one has an 11 on the left side, and then the big number is a 50. So this is going to be an 11 on the high thin string of the acoustic, and the bass string is going to go up to a 50. That's the gauge that I use because I like a thinner string on acoustic, so it's not too heavy. This next one is a 12 to a 52. I also use this set sometimes. It's a little bit heavier. Again, it's going to be a 12 on the high, and it's going to go to a 52. But I recommend starting with 11s on acoustic. I've seen more often people put 13 gauge strings as a standard on acoustic and then hand it to a young person, and it's quite hard to play. So I did use 13s on the Jeff Beck tour, and it was painful. But anyway, I hope this was some insight in helping you buy your first guitar for yourself or your child. And best of luck with the music, and I hope I was some help.